Tragically, 3,000 auto workers in Brampton learned that the Prime Minister had sold them out and failed them in negotiations with the United States of America. To make matters worse, this Liberal government and this Liberal finance minister forked over $15 billion tax dollars to the company that is moving their jobs south. So surely the government would have negotiated a jobs guarantee for every single Canadian Stellantis employee. Will they release that guarantee and the entire contract so Canadians know where their dollars went?
Mr. Speaker, of course what Stellantis announced for the Brampton plant last week was completely unacceptable. And Stellantis has made solemn commitments to this government and to their workers, and they need to honor their commitments, and that's why we will hold them to account. While my colleagues are just right now talking, we already know that in committee we said that we would agree to the production of documents. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, surely Stellantis would not be announcing that it is moving a 3,000 worker plant to the United States of America if this government had negotiated job guarantees in that contract for $15 billion. To put this into perspective, $15 billion is $1,000 for every single family in Canada that was supposed to create jobs. So, simple yes or no question. Is there an ironclad guarantee of every single worker's job here in Canada in exchange for that $15 billion handout?
Mr. Speaker, let me be extremely clear. We will fight for these jobs because Canadian auto workers are the best auto workers in the world. And we will make sure that Stellantis face all consequences, including legal ones. That being said, an hour ago I met here in Ottawa with the head of Canadian Stellantis, with the head of Unifor, and also with the Minister of Economic Development of Ontario. We're one strong team, Canada, and we will make sure that these jobs stay in Brampton.
Mr. Speaker, still no answer. It was the finance minister, the present-day finance minister, who is in charge of a $500 billion forthcoming Liberal budget that was the one who signed this deal. And amazingly, barely 2 years after he signed it and forked over 15 billion Canadian tax dollars, the company receiving it is moving the jobs to the United States of America. That minister claims she might take legal action. She can't do that unless there's actually a job guarantee. So will she tell us, yes or no, does every Canadian Stellantis worker have a job guarantee?
Mr. Speaker, when this government negotiates contracts, they're good ones. And so my colleague will have the chance to see these contracts. That being said, we will make sure to put full pressure on the company. These jobs need to stay in Brampton. These jobs need to stay in Canada. And ultimately, the future of the auto sector is bright, and we'll continue to fight for it.
We're very interested to know what the Minister of Industry knows about these contracts. Perhaps she can answer this simple question. How many Canada-wide jobs did the Liberals guarantee for $15 billion that they gave Stellantis? How many jobs? Can she tell us?
Mr. Speaker, let me be extremely clear. The auto sector in Canada is victim of unjustifiable and unjustified 25% tariff by the American administration, period. Meanwhile, the auto workers are trying every day to make sure that they develop the best product on the face of the earth. And that's what we'll continue to help them to do while we're facing trade tensions with the American government. Meanwhile, Mr. Speaker, we will work with Doug Ford's administration, with Unifor as one Canadian team, because we need to do it for the sake of our country and the sake of our workers.
It's a very simple question. $15 billion went to Stellantis, and in that $15 billion, if you had a clue how to negotiate, you would have included a guarantee of Canadian jobs. We don't need to wait until these contracts are released. This member should know the answer. Is there a job guarantee for Canadian auto workers, yes or no?
Mr. Speaker, we understand that our Conservative colleagues on the other side of the aisle don't like to work with Premier Ford and his government. On this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we will work with all premiers, every political stripe, groups representing workers and businesses, precisely to defend those businesses from the unjustified tariffs imposed from the American administration. We'll do that work in Canada, Mr. Speaker, and good news, we're also doing that work in Washington, D.C.
Hear, hear.